So, a few videos have gone by without me talking about Starfield, so I guess I have the green light to talk about Starfield again. Although I'm not just doing this out of nowhere, because some news about the gameplay actually came out the other day, and it unsurprisingly sent PlayStation Twitter into another salt fest, which is just getting confusing at this point. Like, guys, for 5 minutes, can you not complain about Starfield?
For 5 minutes!
I find it absolutely hilarious that Sony fanboys and PlayStation fanboys, like whenever there's a first-party Sony game in the pipeline, or even a third-party PlayStation exclusive, something like Final Fantasy, whenever there's a game in the pipeline, all you hear about for weeks and weeks and weeks leading up to launch, and again, we just saw it with Final Fantasy, we're seeing it right now with Spider-Man, literally any news that comes out, any shred of information that comes out, is instantly mindlessly praised. Nobody is critical, nobody is suspicious, it's all just mindless, absolute praise all the time. But the second that Microsoft starts hyping up their own first-party exclusive, a game that looks really, really promising and has a ton of hype around it, all of a sudden, being excited for a game before launch is a problem. Like all of a sudden, just like flip of a switch, it's a problem now. You're not supposed to do that. You can't be excited for this game. Wow, look at these fucking fanboys. We're excited for our games, but why would you be excited for a game? It's just so hypocritical, and I just think it's funny. And I know I know there's a lot of newcomers to the channel recently. A lot of people coming in, and I welcome you. I hope you stay here for a while. But I know I may be giving the impression that I'm just like a big anti-PlayStation guy. I make a bunch of videos making fun of PlayStation fanboys, and I don't want to come off as the guy that's just constantly making fun of PlayStation fanboys, but guy, you're making it way too easy for me. I'm gonna keep doing it if you keep giving me little underhanded fucking T-ball pitches. This is so easy. Why wouldn't I make fun of you for this? But what is PlayStation Twitter losing their minds about this time? Well, the other day, Todd Howard officially confirmed that about 10% of the planets in Starfield will have life on them. And as much as you want to probably jump out of your chair and slam your head into the nearest wall at that fucking title line, God, it's early. I'm sorry. Also, that likes is almost 420. That's funny. Anyways, so Todd Howard officially confirmed to Kinda Funny, which, side note, why did Kinda Funny turn into IGN? Like, why did Kinda Funny turn into, like, an actual, like, games news network? Like, I remember when Kinda Funny was just doing random things with Achievement Hunter and being, you know, kind of funny. But now they're like an actual like games news, like what year is it? How long was I asleep? But anyways, it was confirmed to Kind of Funny Games by Todd Howard himself that about 10% of the planets in Starfield will have life on them, will be like heavily populated. And this was apparently meant to mimic the Goldilocks zone, because obviously our own universe, our own galaxy doesn't have life, and it's not super inhabited on every single planet. Every planet is different, and that was a deliberate design choice according to Todd Howard. And it's also not like the 90% of the planets are going to be like fucking Blood Gulch or whatever that one Halo 1 map is, where it's just like a flat plane with nothing on it. Todd Howard explained, "For us, we view it as giving you choices when you look at a system. Here's the many things you could do. This could include visiting barren planets that are only there to collect resources, or planets with major cities and settlements for players to explore and progress the story in. Obviously it's procedural, so there's no way we're going to go handcraft an entire planet. What we do is we handcraft individual locations, and some of those are placed specifically, like the main cities and other quest locations, and then we have a suite of them that are generated or placed when you land depending on that planet." It was also confirmed that planets can have multiple biomes, they can have a whole lot of diversity on them without having, you know, a bunch of actual humans and NPCs walking around. I think a lot of people took this 90% of planets not having life. Yeah, I think a lot of people were taking that a little too literally. Really, what open world game can you think of where 100% of the map has like NPCs walking around all the time? First of all, let alone a game as big as this. I mean, expecting every single one of those 1,000 planets to be populated was just, that's unrealistic on its face. But the main thing that people should be taking away from this is the fact that Starfield is going to have at least 1,000 planets. So if 10% of them are populated, that means we have at least 100 populated planets on launch day. That is an absurd amount of content. And honestly, I know a lot of people don't trust Todd Howard anymore. I mean, frankly, you shouldn't trust Todd Howard at his word. given the things the guy has lied about in the past. But I think it's safe to say that he's doing his best to be the head of Bethesda's, like, redemption arc. He's trying to be more honest. There's no way he would have come out and said this if he wasn't trying to be more honest about these projects. I mean, we've all seen the progression that Starfield has had from the early gameplay to now. They're obviously taking this game very seriously. 10% of the 1,000 planets having life on them, I'm completely fine with that, especially if those other 90% of the planets are going to have different biomes, different purposes. They're not just going to be there to take up space and be a giant empty map. There's going to be things to do on them. Maybe not all of them, because obviously not every planet in every solar system in every galaxy is going to have a point. But again, if you are worried about Starfield not having content, you shouldn't be taking this as confirmation like, oh, the game's going to be completely barren. No, 100 planets minimum will be populated. That is a fucking gigantic game, everything else aside. But is that what PlayStation Twitter focused on? No. Will the game cost 90% less now? I love this. I love this implication that now open world games, like the cost of open world games, like that the price tag has to be scaled with how much of the map has content on it. So Forspoken should have been like $15 tops, you know? Days Gone, I'll give you $5 for that, because that's how this works now, right? So only 100 planets will have things to do on them other than collect resources, sad face. Only 100 planets. Only 100 planets. L, not buying anymore. Yeah, man, I was only gonna buy this game if every single planet was populated. Like, do you not realize how fucking boring of a game that would be if you were playing like a big galaxy-wide RPG and every single planet was populated with the big like open world system, like an open world skeleton? Every single planet, or like half of the planets. Like, do you realize how fucking repetitive that would get in a game of this scale? That's another thing that I think people are being blissfully ignorant to. In a game based around exploring the galaxy, going to different planets, and like not knowing what you're gonna find. Like in a game where exploration and discovery is a major part of it, if NPCs and civilization and, you know, quote, life, if that was like a common occurrence on like every time you dropped down on a planet, there was like a 50% chance it was populated. Do you realize how fucking repetitive that would get? It wouldn't feel like an exploration game anymore. It would feel like every other open world game. I understand that you may want to look at the phrase 90% of planets won't have life and like immediately think like, oh, it's gonna be completely dead. But again, 100 plus planets will have life. It's almost like the point of the game is exploring and not knowing what you're going to find. And if there was constantly life around you telling you what to do, and life on planets meaning that it was already explored, that would kind of go against the point of the game. Not trying to be a Starfield apologist here, just trying to explain things to people who seem like they never wanted to like this game in the first place. It sounds like they want you to explore a bunch of planets and not know what you're going to find, but also for it to feel like a Bethesda RPG. So yeah, 90% of the planets aren't going to have life on them, but 100 plus planets will. Even though most of the planets won't have life, that doesn't mean there is not going to be a fuckload of content to balance out the lack of life, and that's kind of the point. Ah ha 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 ha, the shit list keeps growing with a kick link in the username. Yeah, this checks out. This checks out. Mid-game already from a verified account. And then I click on your verified account, but when I go to your account, you have a bunch of retweets about Final Fantasy 16 and fighting the trolls and console wars. Yeah, no, for sure. Your opinions aren't made for you. You definitely have your own brain. You definitely make your own thoughts about things. You don't just look for a logo that you like and decide you like the thing that the logo is on. Don't be silly. Then what the fuck I'm gonna be doing 90% of the game? I don't know, exploring the Starfield, the field of stars. Bethesda made this entire galaxy, but only 100 planets have life on it. What am I doing the rest of the time? I don't know, why don't you get in your fucking starship and start starring around this fucking place? No Man's Sky 2.0. Why? Who is this guy? Why is he everywhere? Why is this guy fucking everywhere? What are you getting out of it? I swear to God, this guy's a living psyop. Like, he's on fucking every post, and I don't understand how. I don't get it. How are you on every single post at the top of the replies all the time? Who are you? Ugh, okay, No Man's Sky 2.0. Yeah, no, for sure. No Man's Sky 2.0, 100%. Because No Man's Sky was made by a group of people constantly lying about and again, if you like No Man's Sky now, fucking fair enough. The game got a lot better. But No Man's Sky at launch, we were sold 1.5 million fucking lies. But here we are with Todd Howard being honest about what the game is going to contain, and it's No Man's Sky 2.0. Yeah, no, for sure. These two things are completely the same. And remember, No Man's Sky, that was also an RPG with character skills and skill trees and whatnot. Starfield and No Man's Sky, yeah, 2 games set in space where some of the planets don't have life on them. They're exactly the same. Guys, get ready. It's No Man's Sky again. Like, this is such a fucking low effort criticism. And you're gonna see a lot of it. There were so many people making the No Man's Sky comparison, and it's so fucking lazy because it's so fucking wrong. It's just people really eager to dismiss Starfield for some reason. No Man's Sky 2.0, gonna be so fun watching people convince themselves this game doesn't suck. Game's not out, it already sucks. And if you don't think it sucks, you're just convincing yourself it doesn't suck. Like, fucking Christ. You're comparing it to a game it's not comparable to, and you're acting like you have the high ground. Lol, and anyone who pre-ordered this game, prepare for Cyberpunk 2047 all over again. 2047? Are you kidding me? Guy looks like Alice from the Brady Bunch. Shit, you right. Only 10%? This game is unplayable. I will not be buying. Yeah, guys, 100 planets, unplayable. Unplayable. You know, no, I'm done. I'm getting tired. I'm getting real tired. I'm gonna edit this video and upload it on the internet for people to watch because I'm tired now. Look, I totally understand being concerned. I totally understand being skeptical. I legitimately, completely understand those feelings for Bethesda games, especially now that Microsoft is in charge, because Microsoft is fucking incompetent with studio management. But we've seen so much of this game. Todd Howard is being very open about what's in the game. I really don't think anyone is at fault for being optimistic. You know? And I think it's extra ironic when you see PlayStation guys just coming out and blindly destroying this game because you're over here blindly praising games like Final Fantasy 16 before they're even out. I made a video just the other day about a bunch of people who were mad that Final Fantasy 16 got anything less than a 9 out of 10. If you gave it an 8.5, they came after you. If you gave it an 8 out of 10, they came after you. Before the game was even out. And I mean, how much blind praise have we already seen for games like Spider-Man 2, which we've seen like 5 minutes of actual gameplay of? How much blind praise have we already seen of Wolverine, which we've literally seen nothing of? Criticize the things that actually deserve to be criticized. Only 10% of Starfield's planets are populated. And what is 10% of 1,000, dear child? That's your homework for today, all right? Figure out what 10% of 1,000 is and write it in the comments. Sign your name. Me and your dad, we're really trying to work on your percentages. So calculate 10% of 1,000 for me. I'll let you know how you did. And if you get the right answer, I'll talk to him and I'll see if I'll get him to give you your PlayStation back. Okay? Toodles.